ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरि ओम। ओम गणानाहं त्वा गणपतिगुं भवामहे कविं कवीनामुपमश्रवस्तमं ज्येष्ठराजं ब्रह्मणां ब्रह्मणस्पदानश्चिन्वन्नोतिभिस्सीदसादनम्। ओम श्री महागणपतये नमः। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानामालयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादशङ्करं लोकशङ्करं। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे श्रीगुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ श्रीशङ्कराचार्य स्वामिने नमः। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। हरिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः। हरिः ॐ।
नमस्ते महोदय। कृष्ण पावनी भगिनी।
नमस्ते महोदय।
नमस्ते।
अभ्यकाङ्क्षिभिर्यज्ञः विधिदृष्टो य इज्यते एष्टव्यमेवेति मनः समाधाय स सात्विकः।
Good.
अनुपमा भगिनी।
अभिसन्धाय तु फलं दम्भार्थमपि चैव यत् युज्यते भरतश्रेष्ठ तयज्ञौ विद्धि राजसम्।
Good.
ललिता भगिनी।
विधिहीनमसृष्टान्नं मन्त्रहीनमदक्षिणं श्रद्धाविरहितैर्यज्ञं तामसं परिचक्षते।
Good.
विजयलक्ष्मी भगिनी।
नमस्ते महोदय।
नमस्ते।
देवद्विजगुरु प्राज्ञपूजनं शौचमार्जवम् ब्रह्मचर्यमहिंसा च शारीरन्तप उच्यते।
Good. So we'll continue for the new shlokas today.
विजयलक्ष्मी भगिनी।
अनुद्वेगकरं वाक्यं
अनुद्वेगकरं वाक्यम् अनुद्वेगकरं वाक्यम्
सत्यं प्रियहितं च यत्
सत्यं प्रियहितं च यत् सत्यं प्रियहितं च यत्
अनुद्वेगकरौ वाक्यं सत्यं प्रियहितं च यत्
अनुद्वेगकरौ वाक्यं सत्यं प्रियहितं च यत् अनुद्वेगकरौ वाक्यं सत्यं प्रियहितं च यत्।
Good. Next.
साई लक्ष्मी भगिनी।
स्वाध्यायाभ्यसनं चैव
स्वाध्यायाभ्यासनं चैव स्वाध्यायाभ्यासनं चैव।
Can you repeat again?
स्वाध्यायाभ्यासनं चैव।
No, there's no swadhyayabhya. Swadhyayabhyasanam chaiva.
स्वाध्यायाभ्यसनं चैव स्वाध्यायाभ्यसनं चैव।
Vāṅmayam tapa uchyate.
वाङ्मयं तप उच्यते वाङ्मयं तप उच्यते।
Swadhyayabhyasanam chaiva. Vāṅmayam tapa uchyate.
स्वाध्यायाभ्यसनं चैव वाङ्मयं तप उच्यते स्वाध्यायाभ्यसनं चैव वाङ्मयं तप उच्यते।
Good. Next.
वीणा फानिश्री भगिनी।
अनुद्वेगकरौ वाक्यं सत्यं प्रियहितं च यत् स्वाध्यायाभ्यसनं चैव वाङ्मयं तप उच्यते।
अनुद्वेगकरौ वाक्यं सत्यं प्रियहितं च यत् स्वाध्यायाभ्यसनं चैव वाङ्मयं तप उच्यते.
Good. Next,
Sheila Shinde Bhagini.
full shloka.
अनुद्वेगकरौ वाक्यं सत्यं प्रियहितं च यत् स्वाध्यायाभ्यसनं चैव वाङ्मयं तप उच्यते.
Good. Next,
Lakshmi Bibi Bhagini.
अनुद्वेगकरौ वाक्यं सत्यं प्रियहितं च यत् स्वाध्यायाभ्यसनं चैव वाङ्मयं तप उच्यते.
good. One more person.
Sharada Rajan Bhagini.
अनुद्वेगकरौ वाक्यं सत्यं प्रियहितं च यत् स्वाध्यायाभ्यसनं चैव वाङ्मयं तप उच्यते.
Good. So in this chapter also, Bhagavan is talking about the way of life, how one should lead his life so that they will be able to pursue the goal of achieving moksha. So in talking about that, Bhagavan is talking about Sattvika, Rajasic as well as Tamasic kind of people also, as to what kinds of things that they pursue or what kind of behaviors will classify into Tamasic or Rajasic also, in addition to what he is talking about Sattvika type of behavior. The thing is, we need to follow the Sattvika kind of things in case our intention is to pursue with moksha. And the other two things, we should be aware of it and ensure that we are just, in case we have those kinds of traits also appearing in us, we need to ensure that we slowly start working on getting rid of that. So initially, we have Bhagavan is talking about four different things. Like he's talking about food, then he talked about yajna, then tapas, and then dhanam. These are the four things that he has taken in terms of understanding from the dimensions of sattvic, rajasic, and tamasic. So we have completed the food, that is aharam, we have completed. We have also completed a yajna. What kind of yajna is done by sattvic person, rajasic person, and tamasic person. And then he has now come to the topic of tapas. Tapas is austerity. Austerity in the primarily, austerity comes in the terms of kayikam, vachikam, manasam. Kayikam is by the body, austerity with the body. Vachikam is austerity with the mouth, and manasam is austerity with respect to mind. So in the previous sloka 17-14, Bhagavan has talked about the kayikam. Okay. Deva Dvija Guru Prajna Pujanam Shaucham Arjavam Brahmacharyam Ahimsa Cha Shariram Tapa Uchyate. So Shariram Tapam means he said that this is a Kayikam Tapam. So Kayikam Tapam is Shariram Tapam, Stula Sariram. All these things are classified as a tapa, austerities. That is worshipping devas, worshipping Dvija Brahmanas, Guru and Jnanis, and then maintaining Shaucham and Arjavam, and then chastity and celibacy. All these things are considered to be Shariram Tapam or Kayikam Tapam. Now he is talking about Vachikam Tapam. Okay. If you look at the human body, the human construction, we have got 5 Jnanendriyas and 5 Karmendriyas. And out of all these things, Bhagavan has taken only one of them. That is organ of speech. Only that Bhagavan has taken in terms of austerity measures. Now the question arises, why out of all these 10, the organ of speech is being taken by Bhagavan in terms of austerity? If you look at between the animals and the human beings, the primary difference is that the intelligence level of human beings is far superior. It doesn't mean that they don't have intelligence. Animals also have intelligence, but the intelligence of human beings is far, far superior. Okay, so that is already known to all of us. Then, if you look at the other important thing which differentiates the animals from the human beings is primarily the capacity to speak. Animals, etc., can only produce sound. Like a lion can roar, birds can chirp, dog can bark, cat can mew. They can make only sounds. Okay, and they have nothing beyond sounds. Whereas human being has been endowed with the blessing of communication with words. If you look at that way, we are all able to communicate. Now we are sitting in the class, and then the entire communication is only taking place between us. That is, what is being told by words is being understood by everybody. You are also able to reproduce the chanting the way it has got to be chanted. So if you look at that way, the amount of knowledge that comes into the people that we are able to learn by virtue of speech is something phenomenal. Okay. So if you look at that way, Vak, that is the organ of speech, has got two things. One is it can provide us with knowledge, and when it is able to provide us with knowledge, the person is able to talk, and then we are able to listen and gain knowledge. So that is one thing. When we have got such kind of faculty with us, then it is also essential that this faculty has got to be used with responsibility. So that responsibility is very, very important. And Bhagavan is only talking about that responsibility in terms of usage of organ of speech. Okay, again, when you look at it from the language perspective, language is, so many languages are possible only because of speech. Otherwise, languages will not be there. So many words are there. If you look at it from the perspective of various languages, Hindi may have some 175,000 words. English has got some 450,000 words or so, as per Oxford and Merriam Dictionary, approximately. Sanskrit, they say that it can even run into millions of words, because Sanskrit has got a capability of compound words, and one word is able, multiple words giving the same kind of meaning, etc. Tamil is also another richest language, which has got almost a million kind of words available, because it is one of the oldest languages like Sanskrit. So if you look at that, then Chinese and Korean, if you look at other Chinese and Japanese, have got some 500,000 words. Rest of them, if you look at Italian or French or Spanish, all of them have 1.5 to 1.6 lakhs number of words only. So if you look at that way, words become important means of communication, and we are able to use the language to communicate with our own people, who can understand the language. So this is very, very powerful. Just because we have got words and communications capability in human beings, we are able to have knowledge that is being transmitted from generation to generation. Universities are able to provide knowledge. Books are available. Books are also having words. Somebody can read it and then reproduce it by discussions. So if you look at that, this is one of the most fantastic faculty Bhagavan has given to the human beings. That is the faculty of speech. So when you have faculty of speech blessing, then it is very, very essential that it has got to be used with a lot of responsibility. So the responsibility, first responsibility Bhagavan says here is that anudvekakaram vakyam. That means that you are not supposed to use words which hurt other people. So he says that it is very essential that, because words can be used as a knife also. If you put the right, if the fiery speech of somebody can trigger a lot of kinds of activities, and then it can even destroy things. Or it can be also a very, very nice kind of talk which can incite the minds for thinking in a very high level. So it is, words are capable of doing all those kinds of things. So anudvekakaram vakyam, we have to ensure that whatever we say does not hurt the other people. That is most important. So anudvekakaram vakyam. Satyam. What is to be talked is satyam, truthful. The words have got to be truthful. We are not supposed to use the words and then start misleading people. Words have got to be truthful. Okay. Then priyam. The words when we talk, that should be capable of developing a love between the two people, that the two communicators. It should be, like when we are having a class, etc., the teacher has got the responsibility of communicating in such a way that they have to come again for the class and sit and listen to that. So that is one of the most important things. Similarly, in the communication in the home or in the office or in the public, the communication should be able to provide lot of that kind of a love in terms of the individual to individual, the true sense. So that should be priyam. Then hitam. Hitam means what is being told should be beneficial to the other person. It is not that we do some kind of a thing and then it is going to be destroying somebody. So satyam priya hitam. So when you look at it from this perspective of priya hitam, then certain things that you want to talk as truth might not be beneficial to the individual, because that may make a person very much sorrowful. So we have to be very clear in terms of what kind of communication we should do. So we should always ensure that Priyahitam has got to be overriding on Satyam. Okay, it doesn't mean that asatyam is acceptable. You should not tell lies, but telling satyam should not create some kind of a disturbance or not of any benefit to another person. If somebody is sick, you should not tell that this is what doctor said, this is what is the thing. Another 2 days is the time they are given, 48 hours, everything will be over. You should not tell that. There was a small problem, I think he has got an angial pain, then you put him in the hospital. Doctors are now looking at it. We want your help. Why don't you come home? And you come from your dad is admitted in the hospital. I think you've come here because we find that we are not able to do that kind of help. He's also asking for you. Please come down. That is the way we have to tell, so that the person does not get disturbed. Then the truth will slowly come out. So this is what they say, that satyam priyahitam chayate. Then swadhyaya bhyasanam. One has got to also start learning scriptures individually themselves. So that is a swadhyaya bhyasanam. All these things are called as vangmayam. That is, this is the tapas of vak. Vangmayam tapa uchyate. So anudvekakaram vakyam satyam priyahitam chayate swadhyaya bhyasanam chaiva vangmayam tapa uchyate. So this is all called austerities of speech, which has got to be maintained, because we know that in fact, some of you who may know the language, there is one great Tamil literature was written. There is a great composition called Thirukkural, done by one sage around 2500 years ago by name Thiruvalluvar. He says that Yakavar Ayiram Nakaka, Kavaka Sokapa Sulukku Pattu. He says that whatever you cannot control is not a problem, but at least ensure that you control what you say. Because otherwise you will get yourself in deep trouble. That is one thing that he has told. Another thing that he has also told is that Tina Suttapun Ullarum Arade, Navina Suttavadu. He says that an injury caused because of burn will also get healed over time. But if you use a wrong word on somebody, that injury that you have caused by using a wrong word, the scar will never go away. That's what they say. So that is one of the beautiful, all these Tirukurals have got only 7 words. It's a Doha-like kind of thing, only 7 words. And each one of these 7 words in 2 lines, that carry so much of information, so much of beautiful virtues and spiritual values. He also says that you have to be very guarded in terms of what you say, because the words can really damage a person, or words can also be a constructive in terms of endearing some relationship. The other thing is that the word, whenever we are speaking to other people, we have to ensure that we maintain eye contact, one. And then eye contact is very essential. Apart from that, the body language should also ensure that the other person would like to have a conversation with you. So all these things comes under priyahitam, satyam priyahitam. When you speak, other person should love to hear you. There has to be eye contact. There has got to be the eye contact should lead to the soul contact. That is the kind of communication that one needs to have. And this particular kind of communication, this kind of a thing is a most important thing. And all these things come under the satvikam kind of a tapas, vak tapas. Anudvekakaram vakyam satyam priyahitam chayate swadhyaya bhyasaram chaiva vangmayam tapa uchyate. Next.
Shanti Badri Bhagini.
Manah prasada saumyatvam.
Manah prasada saumyatvam. Manah prasada saumyatvam.
Maunamatma vinigraha.
Maunamatma vinigraha. Maunamatma vinigraha.
Manah prasada saumyatvam. Maunamatma vinigraha.
Manah prasada saumyatvam. Maunamatma vinigraha. Manah prasada saumyatvam. Maunamatma vinigraha.
Good. Bhava samshuddhi. Next, please.
Srimati Bhagini.
Namaste, Madhu.
Namaste. Bhava samshuddhirityetate.
भावसंशुद्धिरित्येतत् भावसंशुद्धिरित्येतत्
Tapo manasa muchyate.
तपोमानसमुच्यते तपोमानसमुच्यते
भावसंशुद्धिरित्येतत् तपो मानसमुच्यते
भावसंशुद्धिरित्येतत् तपोमानसमुच्यते भावसंशुद्धिरित्येतत् तपोमानसमुच्यते
Good. Next.
राजेश्वरी शिवशंकर भगिनी
मनः प्रसादः सौम्यत्वं मौनमात्मविनिग्रहः भावसंशुद्धिरित्येतत् तपो मानसमुच्यते
मनः प्रसादः सौम्यत्वं मौनमात्मविनिग्रहः भावसंशुद्धिरित्येतत् तपोमानसमुच्यते.
Good. Next.
काश्मीरा भगिनी
मनः प्रसादः सौम्यत्वं मौनमात्मविनिग्रहः भावसंशुद्धिरित्येतत् तपोमानसमुच्यते.
Good. Next.
मृणालिनी गोपालन भगिनी
आं भगिनि मनः प्रसादः सौम्यत्वं मौनमात्मविनिग्रहः भावसंशुद्धिरित्येतत् तपोमानसमुच्यते.
Good. Next.
शरद चवन महोदय
मनःप्रसादसौम्यत्वं मौनमात्मविनिग्रहः भावसंसिद्धिरित्येत तपोमानसमुच्यते.
Good. One more person.
गुरुमूर्ति महोदय
मनःप्रसादसौम्यत्वं मौनमात्मविनिग्रहः भावसंशुद्धिरित्येतत् तपोमानसमुच्यते.
Good. So we saw the Kaikam tapas in the 14th sloka. Then we start to discuss about the Vak tapas in the 15th sloka. And then this is Manasa tapas. Okay. The tapas out of the mind. So Manaprasadaha. What is Manaprasadaha? Having the capability of bringing quietude to the mind. Able to have absolute peace, absolute quietude, absolute tranquility in the mind is a manasa tapas. So one has to practice that. In fact, if the kind of the meditation classes that we had, we are all primarily focusing in terms of how do we ensure that the mind is brought under control, mind is made quiet. So manaprasada saumyat, manaprasada means bringing in tranquility of the mind. So how do we do that? Maybe if you are doing a puja at the home, you complete the puja, then sit down for 10 minutes. Don't immediately hurry up for doing the regular day-to-day work in the home. Just sit down for 10 minutes. Just close your eyes after doing your puja, etc., or chanting Uttasasana for 15 minutes. Then you don't feel that my chanting is over. Now I'll immediately go there, start doing A, B, C, D work. Don't do that. Sit down again for 10 minutes. Don't do anything. Close your eyes. Then just keep quiet. That one has to build up, and then the mental tranquility should be slowly brought in. And the 10 minutes you try to observe what kinds of thoughts are coming into you. Do not react, just be an observer of the thoughts. So just witness the thoughts, then slowly starting witnessing the thoughts, such kinds of thoughts coming when you're closing your eyes will slowly go away. Then the mind will get into lot more of silence and tranquility. So Manaprasada is primarily bringing the mind into quietude. So that itself is a tapas. So that practicing either meditation for half an hour a day, or at the end of every puja, sitting down quietly for 10 minutes, or whenever there is a time that's available for you, just sit down quietly without keeping the WhatsApp and other things off, or keeping the mobile out somewhere, and then get into a silent room. Keep quiet and just sit, and then try to see whether you're able to control your senses and control your mind. So that is the one that is very important in terms of bringing tranquility of the mind. So Manaprasada, that is a tapas. That is another austerity. Saumyatvam. Saumyatvam is gentleness. Gentleness not only in the behavior, which is kaikam, gentleness is in terms of thought. The thought has got to be gentle in the sense that when we say that when we behave in a gentle manner, we do not hurt another person. So you have to cultivate a gentleness in thought so that your thought is not going to have any kind of negative feelings on any such kinds of things. Absolute gentleness. Because why do we say that that is very essential is that thought is the primary trigger for actions. In the second chapter itself, Bhagavan has told, no, Jagato Vashayan Pumsaha Sangasteshu Bajayate, Sanga Sanjayate Kama, Kamat Kodo Vijayate, Koda Bhavati Sammoha. Then all those kinds of things, Kama, Kroda, everything will start coming out of that. So it is essential that you need to have a gentleness in the thought. The thought that is coming into you has got to be absolutely gentle, absolutely sattvic. Once you are able to have that kind of capability and then continuously working on that, that is Saumyatvam. Manah Prasadaha Saumyatvam. Maunam. Maunam is again sitting silently, absolute silence, watching the thoughts. When you start watching, like the way, they say that there's a classroom and the teacher was not there. All the children were gossiping, talking, running, throwing paper, everything was there going on in the class. The teacher just walks in. She does not do anything. She just looks at the children and everybody comes into this place. Everybody becomes silent. Everybody comes into their orderliness. Similarly, the thoughts are like the children in the classroom who are there without anybody overseeing them. You start witnessing your thought, then the stars will become absolutely quiet, like the way the children in the classroom becomes quiet in the presence of teacher. So that is one thing that one needs to cultivate, so that watching the thought, what is happening, then the thoughts will slowly become absolutely under your control. So Maunam, then Atma Vinigraha, absolute control over oneself. Maunam Atma Vinigraha. Bhava Shamshuddhihi. Bhava Shamshuddhi means purity of thought is extremely important. Purity, not only thought, purity of motive, because every action comes only from the thought, and then the thought goes into action. So ultimately, the action becomes a lot of other things. So one has to start developing the purity of the motive at the thought level. That is Bhava Shamshuddhi. You got absolutely cleansing of the mind, so the purity of motive of every thought is ensured. So that is also again. So the purity of motive is important. All these things are classified as manasa tapo, manasa tapaha uchyate. All these things are called as manasa tapaha. That is manaprasadaha, saumyatvam, maunam, atma vinigraham, bhava shamshritihi, iti yetate. All these things. Manasa tapaha uchyate. Okay. So we have now talked about the tapas in terms of kayikam, vachikam, manasam. Okay. Next.
Usha Srinivasan Bagini.
Shraddhaya paraya taptam.
Namaste Mahodaya. Shraddhaya paraya taptam. Shraddhaya paraya taptam.
Tapastatrividhannaraihi.
Tapastatrividhannaraihi. Tapastatrividhannaraihi.
Shraddhaya paraya taptam. Tapastatrividhannaraihi.
Shraddhaya paraya taptam. Tapastatrividhannaraihi. Shraddhaya paraya taptam. Tapastatrividhannaraihi.
Good. Next.
Rajalakshmi Bagini.
Aphalakangshibiryuktaihi.
अपलाकाङ्क्षिभिर्युक्तैः अपलाकाङ्क्षिभिर्युक्तैः
Satvikam parichakshate.
सात्विकं परिचक्षते सात्विकं परिचक्षते
अफलाकाङ्क्षिभिर्युक्तैः सात्विकं परिचक्षते
अपलाकाङ्क्षिभिर्युक्तैः सात्विकं परिचक्षते अपलाकाङ्क्षिभिर्युक्तैः सात्विकं परिचक्षते
Good. Next.
भानुरेखा भगिनी
श्रद्धया परया तप्तं तपस्तत्त्रिविधं नरैः अफलाकाङ्क्षिभिर्युक्तैः सात्विकं परिचक्षते
श्रद्धया परया तप्तं तपस्तत्त्रिविधन्नरैः अपलाकाङ्क्षिभिर्युक्तैः सात्विकं परिचक्षते.
Good. Next.
कृष्ण पावनी भगिनी
श्रद्धया परया तप्तं तपस्तत्त्रिविधं नरैः अफलाकाङ्क्षिभिर्युक्तैः सात्विकं परिचक्षते.
Good. Next.
ललिता भगिनी
श्रद्धया परया तप्तं तपस्तत्त्रिविधन्नरैः अफलाकाङ्क्षिभिर्युक्तैः सात्विकं परिचक्षते.
Good. One more person.
अनुपमा भगिनी
श्रद्धया परया तप्तं तपस्तत्त्रिविधं नरैः अफलाकाङ्क्षिभिर्युक्तैः सात्विकं परिचक्षते.
Good. So we have now talked about three types of tapas, right? Kayikam, Vachikam, Manasam. So Shraddhaya Paraya Taptam. Shraddhaya Paraya means with utmost faith. Somebody is practicing Saptam, these three kinds of things. Even one of them, maybe Kayikam, Manasam, or Vachikam, this tapa, somebody is with absolute faith, they are doing it. But when they are doing that kind of an austerity, it should also happen that they are not using this particular austerity as a means for getting some kind of a tangible benefit for them. Okay, this particular thing is primarily done only to ensure that I am going to do this as a tapas itself is an end for me. They are just maintaining silent, maintaining my composure itself by itself, that is a end for me. That is not a mean. Mean means what happens if that is going to be a mean, what I am doing, perhaps I may start looking for appreciation from somebody. Somebody may start looking at it, and then somebody will start providing me with some kind of recognition and then some kind of benefit for me. So we are not, the people who are going to be sattvic people, they are not going to look at this as a mean, but they feel that this itself by itself is an end that they need to have in terms of managing their words, managing their bodily requirements, kayikam karma, and then manasa karma. They just do it. That's it. They maybe, if you look at it at a high level, you can say that perhaps it is going to provide a kind of mean for moksha. If that is the goal, it is fine. But do not have it as a mean for anything other than that in terms of benefit for you. So, Shraddhaya Paraya Taptam Tapaha Tadu Trivitam Naraihi. They do these kinds of three things, Shraddhaya Paraya, with utmost faith. Apalakangshihi, when they are not looking at the results and then they are getting themselves committed to doing this highest form of tapas, that kind of tapas is called as sattvikas tapas, because they are not doing for any recognition, they are not doing it for pleasing anybody, they are not doing it for any kind of personal benefit, but they are primarily doing it for the sake of their own personal maturity, their own personal maturity. That's what they are looking at. So this is what is called as a sattvikam tapaha, because they are not interested in the results of that. They are just practicing it as a, this is my discipline. I want to be disciplined. I'll get up in the morning, I'll then do all those things and then do some meditation. I want to absolutely bring my mind into calm gratitude. I will not talk anything wrong about anybody. Whenever I talk only sweetly. I will not even start developing a wrong motive in my mind. I will have only saumyatma in my mind. So all these kinds of things, Bhagavan has said, has to be just a kind of way of life for us. And then without any kind of looking at, I'm doing it because I'm going to get that. Because if that is not going to come, it doesn't mean that you'll compromise on all these things. No, I'm not looking at any benefit. I feel that this is what I should do. This is the way of life. So that is what is the satvikam. So apala kamshi viryuktehi satvikam parichakshate. Okay, next.
Sri Lakshmi Bhagini.
Satkaramana pujatam.
सत्कारमानपूजार्थम् सत्कारमानपूजार्थम्
तपोदम्भेन चैव यत्
तपोदम्भेन चैव यत्
सत्कारमान पूजार्थं तपोदम्भेन चैव यत्
सत्कारमानपूजार्थं तपोदम्भेन चैव यत् सत्कारमानपूजार्थं तपोदम्भेन चैव यत्.
Good. Next.
Vijaya Lakshmi Bhagini.
क्रियते तदिह प्रोक्तम्
क्रियते तदिह प्रोक्तम् क्रियते तदिह प्रोक्तम्
राजसञ्चलमध्रुवम्
राजसञ्चलमध्रुवम्
क्रियते तदिह प्रोक्तम् राजसञ्चलमध्रुवम्
क्रियते तदिह प्रोक्तम् राजसञ्चलमध्रुवम् क्रियते तदिह प्रोक्तम् राजसञ्चलमध्रुवम्.
Good. Next.
Sheila Shinde Bhagini.
सत्कारमान पूजातं तपोदम्भेन चैव यत् क्रियते तदिह प्रोक्तं राजसञ्चलमध्रुवम्.
सत्कारमानपूजार्थं तपोदम्भेन चैव यत् क्रियते तदिह प्रोक्तं राजसञ्चलमध्रुवम्.
Good. Next.
Lakshmi Devi Bhagini.
Full shloka.
Yes, sir. सत्कारमानपूजार्थं तपोदम्भेन चैव यत् क्रियते तदिह प्रोक्तं राजसञ्चलमध्रुवम्.
Good. Now once again repeat that second line please.
Yes, sir. क्रियते तदिह प्रोक्तं राजसञ्चलमध्रुवम्.
Good. Okay. Thank you. Next.
Veena Fanishri Bhagini.
सत्कारमानपूजार्थं तपोदम्भेन चैव यत् क्रियते तदिह प्रोक्तं राजसञ्चलमध्रुवम्.
Good. One more person.
Shanti Badri Bhagini.
सत्कारमानपूजार्थं तपोदम्भेन चैव यत् क्रियते तदिह प्रोक्तं राजसञ्चलमध्रुवम्.
Good. So here tat tapaha yat kriyate. This kind of tapa, which is this kind of austerity which is being done, practiced by people for the purpose of what? Dambena, just for the sake of pretense. They are not actually committed to these kind of austerities. but just damba. Dambena means pretense. Only for pretense. And what? Satkara mana pujartam. Only for the sake of praise, only for the sake of honor, and only for the sake of getting recognized in a big forum. Then they are doing all these kinds of things primarily for a honor for them. There are a lot of things that you might have seen. Sometimes they organize a lot of crowds of some planning will be there, some crowd funding will be there. Then they'll have a very big program, and then the program will all be organized. The program will be told at 8:15. Everybody has got to be there. The leader will be coming in time. At 9 o'clock, everybody should be there in the seats, etc. We start exactly at 9. Everybody will be waiting. At 9:15, only the person will come, so that everybody is there. And when this person comes itself, everybody stands up. Great ovation will be there. Clapping will be there. They'll be taken to a separate seat full of resources. Then whenever their coverage is there, they'll be fully covered. It's all what? Only for Satkaramana Pujartham. They want to be recognized. They want to be seen in the group as I am different than rest of the crowd. I am different. Okay. And then there will be also a lot of bouquets given to them. Floral tributes will be made to them. Lot of praising will be made on to them. So it's all what? It's all primarily pretense, damba. So he says that Sattaramana Pujartham, those kinds of things which are being done primarily for, personal praise. There will be one group of people also will be there with them. They'll always be telling, oh, this person, this person, this person, Every time they keep on praising. So they want to have that honor. They want to have that kind of praising. They want the entire, everybody should look at them. The camera should always be pointing at them. Then they'll be finally once again called upon, recognized. So that is called Satkaramana Pujartham. Those kinds of things are only pretense, and those kinds of things does not last long. They are chalam. Chalam means what? They are all temporary. Adruvam, absolutely not certain. There's no absolute kind of a determination that this is the way things have got to go. There are a lot of leaders like that you would have been able to, you would have seen in your own life, there are such kinds of things are there done only for the sake of Murti Puja. Murti Puja means praising some kind of person. Neta will be there, then there will be a big coterie of people, and everything will be stage managed. Everything will be stage managed in terms of what is to be talked, what is to be praised, who will praise them, who are to be recognized. So those kinds of things is all talked as Rajasam. This is absolutely, Bhagavan says that these things will not be able to be testing the time, and it is not certain that they'll be able to continue this forever. And Adruvam and Chalam is very temporary. So Satkaramana Pujartam Tapo Dambhena Chaivayat Kriyate Tadiha Proktam Rajasan Chalam Adruvam. It is primarily for the personality development. Personality should be showcased. That is the kind of thing that these things happen. And it is not for the individual to have a maturity. So this is purely this particular event or whatever is being done is a means for them to gain something else. Okay, then it is supposed to be. In the other case, what happens? Apala Kangshivi, there was absolutely no need for any results. But here there is an internal desire for these kinds of recognition, honor, and then bouquets and all those kinds of crazy flowery words to be given, group of people talking. So all these things are classified as Rajasam. Satkaramana Pujartam Tapah Dambena Chaivayati Kriyate Tadiha Proktam Rajasam Chalamadruvam. So this is a Rajasic type of a tapas. Okay. Next.
Rajeshwari Shivshankar Bhagini.
मूढग्राहेणात्मनो यत्
मूढग्राहेणात्मयोनत् मूढग्राहेणात्मयोनत्
आत्मनो यत् मूढग्राहेणात्मनो यत्
मूढग्राहेणात्मनो यत् मूढग्राहेणात्मनो यत्
पीडया क्रियते तपः
पीडया क्रियते तपः पीडया क्रियते तपः
मूढग्राहेणात्मनो यत् पीडया क्रियते तपः
मूढग्राहेणात्मयोऽन्यत् पीडया क्रियते तपः मूढग्राहेणात्मनो यत् पीडया क्रियते तपः.
Good. Next.
Sai Lakshmi Bhagini.
परस्योत्सादनातौ वा
परस्योत्सादनार्थौ वा परस्योत्सादनादौ वा
तत्तामसमुदाहृतम्
तत्तामसमुदाहृतम् तत्तामसमुदाहृतम्
परस्योत्सादनार्तौ वा तत्तामसमुदाहृतम्
परस्योत्सादनार्धौ वा तत्तामसमुदाहृतम् परस्योत्सादनार्धौ वा तत्तामसमुदाहृतम्.
Good. Next.
Kashmira Bhagini.
मूढग्राहेणात्मनो यत् पीडया क्रियते तपः परस्योत्सादनार्थौ वा तत्तामसमुदाहृतम्.
मूढग्राहेणात्मनो यत् पीडया क्रियते तपः परस्योत्सादनार्थं वा तत्तामसमुदाहृतम्.
Good. Next.
Sharada Rajan Bhagini.
मूढग्राहेणात्मनो यत् पीडया क्रियते तपः परस्योत्सादनार्थौ वा तत्तामसमुदाहृतम्.
Good. Next.
Rajalakshmi Bhagini.
मूढग्राहेणात्मनो यत् पीडया क्रियते तपः परस्योत्सादनार्थं वा तत्तामसमुदाहृतम्.
Good. Next, one more person.
Srimati Bhagini.
मूढग्राहेणात्मनो यत् पीडया क्रियते तपः परस्योत्सादनार्थौ वा तत्तामसमुदाहृतम्.
So, tat tamasam udahritam. That is called as tamasa type of tapa. Yat tapaha, these kinds of things are done. Tat tamasam udahritam. Okay, what are those kinds of things? Muda grahenatmanaha pidaya kriyate tapaha. Muda grahe means the one who has got stuck on to a wrong resolve, wrong understanding. He has taken that kind of wrong resolve, one. And Atmanaha Pidaya, Atmana Pidaya, then he is also torturing one's body. He has got a wrong understanding, and then with wrong resolve, he is doing certain kinds of action, and then he is also torturing himself. And third thing is that Parasya Utsadanartham, for the destruction of other people, they are getting into some resolve. So Parasya Utsadanartham, getting somebody into some destruction, then these people, Atmana Pidaya, these people start having lot of torturing on their own self because they have got a muda grahana. They have come out of a wrong kind of understanding, wrong kind of resolve. You will be able to very clearly understand about the jihadis in the country. You know, they feel they have got a very wrong kind of impression, wrong kind of understanding, and they are. What is that they are doing? They want to destroy everybody. They want to kill everybody. Jihadi and then Kafir, they kill everybody. No. So that is what, what is that ultimate, what is driving them? They say the Jannat milega, 72 Hur milega, such kind of wrong concept they have got. So these kinds of things, which are primarily is driven by some wrong understanding, they themselves torture themselves, and then they are planning to do things only for destruction of other people. These kinds of things is all classified as tamasa tapam. So other classic examples in our own text will be our Ravana was like that, Hiranyakashipu was like that, Then even Kamsa was like that. All these people, they had got a very wrong intention. Even to that extent, I would say Duryodhana had a wrong intention. No, if Duryodhana had the right kind of intention, right kind of resolve, maybe this war could not have started. He said that I want to destroy Karna. I want to destroy Arjuna. I don't like Krishna. I want Krishna to be thrown out. I want the entire Pandava army to be eradicated. That means what is that? Utsadanartham, Parasya Utsadanartham. They want to destroy somebody. So what is that? He has again got out to some kind of wrong understanding. What is wrong understanding? I will not follow dharma. I will not give this property, this rajyam to other people. So that kind of people, whatever kind of thing that they do in terms of these austerities they follow, is all classified as tamasa austerities. Okay. Mudagrahenatmanah yati pidaya priyate tapah parasya utsadanartham va tadu tamasam udahranam. Okay. So he has now talked about the tapas also. Tapas also we have got to be very clear. We have tapas has got three different categories. One is kayikam, vachikam, manasam. Those three things he has talked about. And then he has also talked about the three things in terms of sattvic, and then rajasic and tamasic. But one thing that we have to also appreciate is that it is very difficult for a person to move from tamasic straight away into that. And all these kinds of behaviors are correctable behaviors. So the person has got to utilize his free will, understand they need to have a kind of proper counsel. Then perhaps what they should do is they can perhaps do rajasic kinds of things for the, even if they are doing rajasic things, that they are doing such kinds of satkaram, they are doing very good kind of publicity meeting, etc. Let them get honored, etc. No problem, but they're doing a good thing. Okay, so that is okay. Them doing all destructive things, at least they are doing a rajasic thing for the personal benefit. They're doing, no, that is also okay. From there, somebody will be easily able to migrate into the kind of sattvic kind of things. So Bhagavan has noted about kayikam, vachikam, manasam, and sattvikam, rajasam, and tamasam in terms of how these tapas has to be managed. So one of the important takeaways will be that, we need to ensure that the kayikam tapa, for the people who are pursuing the moksha, kayikam tapaha, we have to be extremely clear about that. That is apala kangshivihi. We are not going to be looking at something and then getting into all these kinds of austerities. One. So, second thing is that for the kayikam, that is for the sharitis, deva, vijay, guru, prajna, pujanam. Okay, you have to ensure that we are going to have the mindset in terms of how do we worship them. Then coming to that is kayikam. And coming to the vachikam, we have to ensure the anudvekakaram vakyam. We are not supposed to use those kinds of words which is going to hurt other people. Anudvekakaram vakyam, satyam, priyahitam, all these things are very, very important. And if you are able to have that kind of a behavior, then you are able to have then swadhyaya abhyasanam, reading of scriptures by oneself, reading a lot of Bhagavad Gita, whatever you are doing. All those kinds of things are also called as vachikam tapam. And then manasam tapam, how are you going to make a manaprasada saumyatvam? How are you going to quieten your mind? How you are going to make your mind gentle? You are not going to have a wrong motive coming up in the mind. You are not going to have a kind of thought which is going to trigger wrongful actions in the thing. And you also have to spend time after every puja for 15-20 minutes, closing your eyes and then trying to witness your own mind. So that practice when you have, or meditation that you have, then you will be able to do a very good sattvic tapas, which will be the one which will help in terms of the progression towards moksha. Okay, that is the understanding that we need to have from this. So we have understood it from food perspective, what kind of food is going to be suitable in terms of sattvic kinds of qualities to be brought in. Then we learned about yajnas also. We also now talked about tapas. Then the last topic that Bhagavan is going to talk about is dhanam. Okay. Next.
Bhanureka Bhagini.
Datavyamidi yadhanam.
दातव्यमिति यद्दानम् दातव्यमिति यद्दानम्
Diyate nupakarine.
दीयतेनुपकारिणे दीयतेनुपकारिणे
दातव्यमिति यद्दानं दीयते नुपकारिणे.
दातव्यमिति यद्दानम् दीयतेनुपकारिणे दातव्यमिति यद्दानं दीयतेनुपकारिणे.
Next.
Gurumurti Mahodaya.
देशे काले च पात्रे च
देशे काले च पात्रे च देशे काले च पात्रे च
तद्धानं सात्विकं स्मृतं
तद्दानं सात्विकं स्मृतं तद्दानं सात्विकं स्मृतम्
देशे काले च पात्रे च तद्दानं सात्विकं स्मृतं
देशे काले च पात्रे च तद्दानं सात्विकं स्मृतम् देशे
Go ahead,
देशे
please.
देशे काले च पात्रे च तद्दानं सात्विकं स्मृतम्.
Good. Next.
Usha Srinivasan Bagini.
दातव्यमिति यद्दानं दीयते नुपकारिणे देशे काले च पात्रे च तद्दानं सात्विकं स्मृतम्
दातव्यमिति यद्दानं दीयतेनुपकारिणे देशे काले च पात्रे च तद्दानं सात्विकं स्मृतम्.
Good. Next.
Sharat Chavan Mahodaya.
Yes, sir. दातव्यमिति यद्दानं दीयते नृपकारिणे देशे काले च पात्रे च तद्दानं सात्विकं स्मृतम्.
Good. Next.
Shanti Badri Bagini.
दातव्यमिति यद्दानं दीयतेनुपकारिणे देशे काले च पात्रे च तद्दानं सात्विकं स्मृतम्.
Good. Next.
Lalita Bagini.
दातव्यमिति यद्दानं दीयतेनुपकारिणे देशे काले च पात्रे च तद्दानं सात्विकं स्मृतम्.
Good. So here he starts off with telling that Datavyam means it is a kind of an order. You have to give. Like Kartavyam. When you are studying Karma Yoga, we said that when we are confronted with a situation, then Kartavyam, you have to respond and act. Similarly, when it is a question of giving, you have to give. That's what Bhagavan said. Datavyam iti yadi danam. And what kind of danam? That danam diyate, that is given anupakarine. The thing is that you are very clear that you are not going to get any kind of return for what you are doing. That is dhanam. Dhanam means anupakarine. In fact, they say that the person to whom you are helping should not be in a position to return your help at all. That is the kind of dhanam which is the highest dhanam, because he cannot, because you are doing it today and tomorrow the person may even not live because he's in that kind of situation and you are doing some kind of a help to him. Okay. Now, why dhanam is talked about in a very big manner in the case of Hindu scriptures? One of the most important thing of dhanam is that when a child is born, up to say 3 months or so, the child doesn't know anything. Anybody takes the child, it is okay. It is going, anybody can take it and then anybody can carry the child. Then beyond 3 months or so, the child starts recognizing faces. Once it recognizes faces, it will not leave its mother and maybe father or the near relatives. So whenever somebody asks for the child immediately goes and clings. The reason for clinging is insecurity. So insecurity in people start at the age of 3 months. Insecurity starts coming up. The child becomes insecure at the 3 months of time when it does not want to accept anybody else other than mother or brother and sister and father. Nobody else it will go. It will immediately cling to its mother. So that is because of insecurity. So insecurity is that we cling on to people. That habit of clinging on to the mother slowly expands as the child grows older and older and older. And now all of us have got the thing that we cling on to people. We feel insecure if we are not able to cling on to people. That is there. It may be our own spouses, it may be our children, it may be our parents, it may be some close friends. We cling on to them and we feel insecure if we are not able to cling on to them. So that is in terms of the personality, that are people to people clinging. The other thing that we always cling on to is our possessions. We have a lot of possessions and we feel insecure and we don't want to give it. So we, whatever comes, we want to keep with us. We feel that that is because we are insecure. We have a tremendous amount of worry that tomorrow what is going to happen to me. So we keep clinging on to it. And then the insecurity is now not only in terms of clinging on to people, insecurity is also in terms of material possession that one may have, material possession, wealth, property, all those things we start clinging on to them. So what happens is that when you start clinging on to people and the material possessions in the world, then the insecurity starts growing higher and higher and higher for individuals. So what Bhagavan says that you have to cultivate the habit of giving it up, let it go. So for that, what he says is Dhatavjam iti. If it is to be given, give it without looking for a quid pro quo. Do not expect that the person is going to return anything to you. That is the way one should give. Okay. And so what happens is that once you start giving, you feel that I can give, I am okay. I can give, I'm still okay. Then your own feeling of insecurity starts coming down. So one of the important things is that by giving, you will start becoming more and more and more secure. You feel that I can give, I will give. That is one thing. If you still have a difficulty of parting away with your possessions, one of the things that is being told by the commentary that I was reading is that give off those kinds of things that is of no use to you, at least to. I have not used it for 3 years. That just lying in my cupboard, and I do not know that whether I'm going to use it for next 3 years also. But it is just occupying, It may be vessel, it may be clothes, it may be a computer, it may be. Yesterday I went to one of my friends' house. He's got 5 iPads with him. 5 iPads. He says that so many iPads is all lying around. So we just cling on to it. So what happens is that we have to have the habit of giving off what is not going to be useful to us in the near term. I have not used it for so many years, and I may not also find that there will be use for this. Today we got around 15 mobile phones in the house, right? From Nokia 5310 or something was there in 2002. They're still there in the dabba. We don't know what to do. We have to scrap it up after reading this sloka only. So what I'm telling is that we cling on to that. So he said that get rid of all those kinds of things. Then you start getting into the habit of giving things. And then not only giving what you don't want, then you understand what somebody else is going to be asking for. Then start looking at, and if I give this one to him, it's going to be beneficial for him. So I'll give this one to him. So then you move from giving what you don't want first to giving what others may be in need of. Give it to that. Third stage, give what you don't have, or what you don't want is the first stage. Then what others want is second stage, which you are giving it from your own shelf. But what others want, I don't have in my shelf, but I ensure that I get it and give it to them is the third stage of development. Why they say this, giving is one thing, but once you give, it will always, Bhagavan will take care of you. Like, if you look at the entire nature gives. The river water gives to us. Ocean gives to us. Ocean gives the clouds give river gives water gives trees gives us fruits. Everything gives to us. If you look at the entire nature of Bhagavan's creation, they all give to us. They don't take anything and run away. No. So when you start giving, then like a creation of the entire creation of Bhagavan, you also become one like the creation that it gives. They are all very happy. That river flows only for Paropakaraya. Nadyam, they say Pravahati, they say that the rivers flow only for others. The Vriksha is giving fruits only for others. So that is the next thing that one start doing. The second, then what happens is that you take a social responsibility, and then you feel that it is not necessary that I need to only be happy and my family to be happy. I should take care of people who are in need. I will also take care of them. Social responsibility comes in. Then what happens? Sannyasa. Sannyasa is what? He has got absolutely no fear of insecurity because he has nothing to lose. Because he owns nothing. So that is the ultimate thing that sannyasa means, that level of mental maturity comes in. So Bhagavan says that Dhatavyam iti yaddanam diyate anupakarine. Without expecting anything in return, please start giving now. That is what dhanam. But he says that when you are giving, please ensure that you are going to focus on deshe kale cha patre cha. If somebody is coming to Chennai in summer month and you say, I have got a beautiful shawl for you, I can give it to you. That is not a kind of thing that you can give in Chennai. You can, if you go to Badrinath, you give a shawl, but not in Chennai. So you have to also look at where you are giving that one. And then kale, timely. If somebody is sick, at that time you have to go and help him out. When somebody is lying down, that time you have to go and help him out. So time also matters. Then the place where you give also is mattering. Patre, the recipient also should be absolutely deserving that kind of a thing at that point in time, because the recipient is going to get benefited in terms of his basic needs. And some people say that we should not even, when you're looking at patram, they say that avoid giving money to beggars who are there at the signal centers. Signal centers, it's a business that's going on. So if you are going to support that, that is going to increase and that's going to be a menace. So they say don't support those kinds of things. Maybe there could be some good people also there. But what they are telling is that the patram is also important. The person, the recipient of that is also very, very important. So deshe kalecha patrecha tat dhanam, that kind of dhanam is called satvikam. But we one need to understand datavyam. Datavyam needs to give. Diyate anupakarine, without expecting anything in return. No quid pro quo. No quid pro quo. That is what they say, that you should not have anything that you are going to be expecting in return. So this is what is supposed to be called as dhanam. To begin with, satvikam dhanam. Datavyam idi yaddanam diyate anupakarine deshe kale cha patre cha tad dhanam satvikam smrutam. Maybe we'll stop here and then continue tomorrow. अनुद्वेककरौ वाक्यं सत्यं प्रियहितं च यत् स्वाध्यायाभ्यसनं चैव वाङ्मयं तप उच्यते मनः प्रसादः सौम्यत्वं मौनमात्मविनिग्रहः भावसंशुद्धिरित्येतत् तपो मानसमुच्यते श्रद्धया परया तप्तं तपश्चत्रिविधन्नरैः अपलाकाङ्क्षिभिर्युक्तैः सात्विकं परिचक्षते सत्कारमानपूजार्थं तपोदम्भेन चैव यत् क्रियते तदिह प्रोक्तं राजसञ्चलमध्रुवं मूढग्राहेणात्मनो यत् पीडया क्रियते तपः परस्योत्साधनार्थौ वा तत्तामसमुदाहृतं दातव्यमिति यद्धानं दीयतेनुपकारिणे देशे काले च पात्रे च तद्दानं सात्विकं स्मृतम् ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्तिः 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 हरिः ओम् श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ओम्।